Thank you very much, Excellencies, dear colleagues. It's a pleasure to be here. When you ask me about challenges and also about the situation in Portugal, I think the first challenge has to do with these words that unites us here, the word transformation. And of course, we cannot have any kind of transformation if we leave aside the practitioners, the educators, the teachers, because it's not in our summits that the transformation happens, it's in each classroom around the world. And so this is really important, that we have to bear in mind that there will be no transformation without teacher agency, without teacher engagement, without teacher voice. And for this to happen, I think the first challenge is that we have a shared sense of purpose for this transformation. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that if we tell teachers around the world we need change, this can be first badly taken. It can be said, it can be understood as, why? Am I not working well? Am I not doing well in what I do? So we have to have dialogue in order to understand that when we talk about transformation, this is not a bad judgment on the development of a profession. This is a change that is needed because there are ecosystemic changes around the world and new demands that are posed on a profession that globally works fine. So I'd like to focus on four main challenges that I think this transformation we are calling for and that we are being motivated to promote poses to the teaching profession. The first challenge has to do with the challenge of equity. When we say education is a public good and a common good, this means that teachers are now called to work in democratic education. And this means that all should be in school, and all means all. And this also means that teachers not always were trained to educate those who speak other languages, those that have different kinds of disabilities, those that do not want to sit in school. And we are urging them to teach and to be able to teach all of them. And this is different from teaching an elite or the children of the privileged ones. And this calls for different methods, for different professional development in order to assist all these students. The second challenge is this challenge of skills for life. We are asking now teachers not only to be teachers of language, mathematics, geography, we are asking them to be teachers of critical thinking, information literacy, human rights, gender equality, creative thinking. This is way more difficult than just conveying content and teaching subjects. And the question is that sometimes we are demanding teachers to be teachers of dimensions that they themselves did not have the chance to develop. And again, this puts burden and pressure on us governments to assist the teachers in order to let them be able to develop these skills that they did not develop as students, they may have not developed as citizens, and they may have not developed in their preparation to become teachers. Third challenge is the challenge of subsidiarity and recognition. With these demands, we cannot put everything on the shoulders of teachers. They are teachers, they are not Swiss pocket knives with all kinds of facilities. And this means that schools are now part of a larger community, that this sense of togetherness that is in the report that sustains this summit, this pre-summit and the summit in New York, means that we have to have peer collaboration, we have to have good interaction with the communities, with the scientific community, and for this to happen, teachers have to be involved in the development of these policies. And a fourth challenge is the challenge posed by some dimensions of the curriculum and some dimensions of what we are doing in terms of this attention drawn to the digital world. We learned lessons from COVID, and the main lesson is that no machine replaces a teacher. And COVID was an eye-opener for this. And we see the temptation here and there of saying, okay, now we have machines, so teachers may be dispensable. They are not dispensable, they are not disposable. And this leads us to think and to promote in the teacher profession a good differentiation between what is a tool, what is a purpose. And I come back to the sense of purpose. The digital is a tool for better learning. It's not a goal of learning. Social emotional skills are key to the development of learning. Innovation is a tool and not a goal, not a purpose. And if these things are not clearly separated, we may fool ourselves and we may lead teachers into bad practice because we think, oh, there are machines in the classroom, problems are solved. No, this calls for a different pedagogy, different methods, different ways of becoming a teacher. Then in the second round, I may come to what this means for us governments in terms of providing assistance to teachers. There is big responsibility for us, but all in all, what I wanted to say is that the challenges that we are facing are challenges on a reconfiguration of the teacher profession, and this requires us to I will try. 1 minute, 5 words. The 5 words that guided our national initiative on teacher professional development that accompanied our curriculum reform was based on 5 principles. One was relevance, and we involved teachers and the teacher professional societies in identifying the needs in terms of professional development. And this is particularly important, like our colleague from EI said, because otherwise we are going to do top-down training processes that are not felt as relevant by teachers. Second word is quality. We have to make sure that the professional development opportunities that we provide have quality, and for this we promoted partnerships between academia, schools, other organizations, but crucially we involved teachers themselves, our good teachers, in sharing practices, in showing that it is possible to transform in schools because they have already done. Third word, impact. If the professional development does not impact on actual classrooms, it's useless. So we are trying as much to do professional development in workshops that involve experimentation and piloting in actual classrooms. Fourth word, networking. Teachers cannot be left alone. We need to establish networks of schools, networks of teachers. So we organize regional meetings for practice sharing among schools and among teachers. And the final word is communication. It's time for us to communicate the good of schools, the good of education. Sometimes in our summits, in our meetings, in our documents, we nag about what is still to be done, and we forget to praise everything that is done in our schools. All of us were here, we had teachers, and we went to school. And we are experiencing moments in which schools are undervalued with movements of homeschooling, of deification of digital tools, instead of valuing